And I was doing okay, and sort of, you see the improvements. I was listening, I was working, and I was climbing the world rankings. And to get it to Sydney Olympics, so you've got to be in the top 16 of the world rankings. And in mixed doubles back then, mixed doubles, the Asian countries didn't really do much. They didn't, because of the male female thing. It was really quite
Oh
hard
yeah,
for a lot of the
interesting.
countries like Malaysia, Indonesia. They didn't really have that kind of balance for mixed doubles. So mixed doubles was kind of the easiest one to go for. So when the cutoff came, I finished 17th. So I
Oh,
was one place out. So that, so I was 23. Something had been in my mind since I was a kid, and I was one place out. And that's when things started clicking into place.
right. Just when
So
you
we talk
missed it.
about light bulb. Yes. I hadn't, because I was just doing it was, and that's why it's quite hard for me to remember that time. I was just going along with
Mm.
whatever, and I hadn't really stopped and really made that massive investment. I was just going along, and as you know, when you make that decision to really be professional, to really go for it, you have
Mm.
to give everything,
Yeah,
and it's your soul, your mind, it is everything, and you have to commit. And I hadn't got there yet.
yeah.
It was when I missed out, then I went, ah,
Mm.
right, yeah. So it was horrible, but it was one of the best things that ever happened to me. um Crying, being punched in the stomach, that feeling, because I wasn't there. But
Mm.
sometimes with sport you need that, because it shows how much you really, really want it.
Yeah, and you need that. You need that little bit of a setback to use it as a
Yeah,
little bit of a springboard. And I've had loads of those, and it's how you view that. I love the idea of how you change your mindset, and
yeah,
then you're so right that you do have to switch into another gear. And I see so many
yeah,
people talking about, I want to make it as a professional in anything.
yeah,
And an Olympic sport, I think, is even another level, because like you said earlier, as in a team sport, you can rely on the team as a collective a little bit more. So
yeah,
you just need to make sure as a collective you're going in the right direction. And you can even play on a day where someone might be ill, but they can really scrape through with a performance and the team still wins. But as an
yeah.
individual and at an Olympics, like, you're going for that one day, like
No hiding.
that one race, that one throw, that one match,
Mm-hmm.
whatever it is, and it's 4 years, and you've got to be on it. And Olympic
Mm-hmm.
athletes is where I just think go to another level, because and I still don't. I still think the commitment has to be there in any sport as well. Don't get me wrong,
Yeah,
but you realize like what it takes, and you speak to people like, what is it that you were doing? And it's like, well, that party that you were kind of thinking about going to, and your mates are going to, and you want to go and hang out late at night. Yeah, you don't go to that. That's what you don't go to.
no,
You
no,
know, that sort of that little bit of that friend you wanted to hang out with and just go shopping with or whatever, and go to the cinema. Yeah, you don't do that either. And
no.
it's all that sort of stuff that people kind of forget. It's like, oh, and that food you really like eating, yeah, that you kind of cut that one out as well. Um, Sometimes it's just gets lost in, actually, and it's very hard to describe to people, because you have to, I think you really do have to have got it at some point and have tried to have lived it and understood it. It's very hard to map it out to someone and enforce onto someone as well. You can't enforce that
Yeah, the
mindset
best
on
way I
someone.
describe it is that you've got your comfort zone, and we've all been there, and we've all trained, and we all, sort of, I've got our, and this is where I was in my comfort zone, and I was just doing what I've always done, going along with everything. To really achieve, to make that breakthrough, you need to step out of that comfort zone.
Mm,
So, but I didn't know that. And, and young aspiring sports people, they won't know yet. And,
mm,
you can send out these questionnaires, and you can say, yeah, you've got to commit, blah, 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 blah. You can just say the talk, but there will come a time where they'll realize where their comfort zone is. And how did they, not someone telling them to get out of their comfort zone, how did they decide, I've had enough of this, to get to the next stage I need to jump out of it? And we all do it in all life, it's whether it's
mm,
business, personal, whatever it is, we all do this comfort zone. If you want to then make that, but it's got to come from you. You can't tell anyone to to do it. You know, even though we know, get out your comfort zone, you know, trying to tell people that, but they themselves, and that's what I had to do. I literally went, if I'm going to achieve, I need to work harder, and it's got to come from me, not someone telling me to do it. I need to do it. You know, like, you know, winners train when no one else is watching and stuff like that. That's what you need to do. And they're the ones that make it. They're the ones that it comes from them to make that decision. And some people it happen when they're 18, which is fantastic. Some people won't happen until 23, 24. You know, again, this is like this whole, sometimes we just don't know when it's going to click. And for me, it was 23 years old, which is quite late in terms of that.